So today is one of those cool days where I do something that I don't normally do. Oh look, it's the Hollywood sign. How cute. We're out here in LA, just chilling, hanging, seeing the world. You know what I'm saying? Here with George. You know, homie's back in SoCal. Oh wow, I mean look at that.
Be discreet with this. Like
the professional film photographer out here though. Still out here. It's getting dark pretty fast actually.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how fast it would get dark. Wow. It leads all the way back there. Look at it. I feel like every time I end up filming a clip for my vlog, it's always some kind of random update. I like vlog some cool thing and then I disappear for like a week and a half and then I do something else cool and I'm like, oh yeah, this is what happened in the last week and a half.
Oh really?
Well, I guess something significant did happen today. I finally got my approval to take my NCLEX, which is insane because I've been waiting. It is now July 30. I graduated a month and a half ago and I haven't got any answer back as far as what was the status of my application. So I took the jump and decided to call the BRN in California just to see if they give me an answer. I was put on hold for an hour and a half and they finally answered and told me that I actually just got approved. So I got my email for my approval to test for my ATT and all that's left is to schedule my actual test and get to studying again. Because in all honesty, I haven't vlogged any study material for the NCLEX necessarily, specifically because I haven't been studying for the NCLEX. For me, it's just a lot harder to actually study for something that I don't have a specific set goal date for, which is why I just kind of put it off waiting to get a date. And now that we do have one, I can finally start vlogging some good NCLEX study prep content. So stay tuned for that. Hey guys, thought I would just like insert this quick clip, me kind of explaining what the next few videos are going to be about. This is officially the beginning of the NCLEX Prep / actual NCLEX test videos that I'm going to be releasing. I just wanted to ask you guys ahead of time because I know obviously not everybody's going to sit through the next 8 or so minutes watching this video, but I did want to ask you guys, for those of you who are still in nursing school or are still working on studying for the NCLEX and are about to take the NCLEX, if you guys wanted me to also include a video about like tips and tricks or what I would have done differently or how to study and prep for the NCLEX basically. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys would like to see that video. Otherwise, you guys can just enjoy these 2 videos and watching me stress out for 2.5 weeks of my life and have the worst anxiety that I've ever had in a long time. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video and yeah, I will see you guys in the next clip. Hi. So today marks the first day of my serious NCLEX prep. I'm just gonna put you guys down so that we can have a little bit of a chat. It's been a while. I haven't talked to you guys in a really long time and I haven't given you guys any nursing school updates. A lot of it had to do with the fact that it took a very long time for me to get my ATT, which is an approval to take the test for the NCLEX. So if you guys don't already know, the way that it works after you graduate from nursing school, which I did about 2 months ago at this point, it is August 1st, so it's been a very long time since graduation, whatever that even is. But the way that it works is that once you graduate from nursing school, your school will work with you to start the NCLEX application itself. And exactly on May 29th is when I completed my NCLEX application, but there is a two-part to the whole situation. So that aside from you applying for the NCLEX through the BRN at whatever state that you're applying for, you also have to pay the testing center. So in total, the test is approximately around $500. I think the actual NCLEX application itself was $300, and then the testing center is $200. So combined, it was about a $500 cost up front. And the problem is, if you don't have the money up front, you can technically pay it later, but you just won't get your approval to test until the full payment is paid on both ends. I paid up front immediately because I was hoping that it would speed up the process for me to get my approval to test, and it didn't. Because right after you graduate, the school will send in your transcript over to the BRN, and your transcript along with a live scan where you have to get your fingerprints into the system, and the application, all three of those need to be reviewed by the BRN before they can even send an approval for you to take the test. So unless you have your approval, you can't even schedule the test itself. And obviously because of the virus and the state of the world right now, it took a very long time for the BRN to start sending approvals. And so mine came literally 3 days ago. And it's been about a month and 3 weeks since I've graduated, and I was just waiting and waiting and waiting and heard nothing from the BRN as far as my ATT goes. But I did get my ATT, and I took it upon myself to schedule my tests as soon as I could. I ended up scheduling it a little bit sooner than I had hoped for, but it was the most reasonable time for me to take the test because otherwise the next available test date would be end of November and December, which... Okay, so just kidding. I could have chosen another date if I just checked again because they opened up time slots here and there, but I didn't figure that out till later, so whoops. So, my NCLEX test date is going to be August 20. It is currently August 1st. So as you can see, I am on quite the crunch, depending on the person. I mean, if you guys happen to be just great at taking tests and just know how to do well, maybe you need less time. But I was personally aiming for maybe like 3 to 4 weeks of study time, so I am a few weeks short as far as the time that I had intended to study for the NCLEX. But again, this is the closest opportunity that I have before having to take it in November, which I could not wait for. So, I'm sorry, my house alarm is going off because my sister just got home, so there's a lot of background noise. However, long story short, for the next 2.5 weeks, I'm going to be vlogging. I can't necessarily show you guys the actual material and stuff that I'm doing because the program that I'm using to study for the NCLEX is UWorld. A lot of people will say some mixed reviews as far as NCLEX study prep programs. The most common ones that you'll hear about are Hearst, ATI, UWorld, and Kaplan. Those are probably the most common ones that I'm aware of. I do have access to ATI because through my school they actually offered ATI as an option to study for the NCLEX, and I do have that available to me. I might use it here and there, but I don't intend to use it as my main study program. I bought the 2-month program through UWorld, which is a little bit of a waste since my test is in 2 weeks, so it's gonna lapse anyways, and I basically have a month and a half where I'm not going to use a program that I paid for. But I'm going to be using this program as much as I can to study to the best of my abilities to really try to get myself to hone in on the questions and kind of like refresh my brain a little bit. But aside from that, I will be using ATI and some of my own notes to kind of like figure out a way that I'm going to study. So I'm going to take you guys along with me. I can't guarantee that it'll be the best way to study. I feel like I'll learn things along the way that I would probably recommend to do and not to do as you guys go along or as I go along. I'm just going to try my best to study as hard as I can for the next 2.5 weeks, and you guys are just going to see me suffer a little bit. I think that's pretty much it for my update. Today starts the first day of my intensive study. I already have the program opened up on my lovely iPad. Come along with me while we suffer for 2.5 weeks. And wish me luck on this NCLEX. August 20, y'all. See you there. It is now 12:15. I guess I made a little bit of a boo-boo because I went out today to hang out with some friends and have a socially distanced picnic. So I was gone pretty much all day, and I told myself I was gonna study when I got home. And I am. Sneak peek. Like, I'm studying. I've got a pretty decent set of notes already so far. I haven't really figured out how I want to do my notes, but let me show you guys what I've kind of set up. With UWorld, it's kind of like a test bank type of study material where you get to set up your own like tests and keep practicing, basically taking the NCLEX over and over again. But with every question, whether you get it right or wrong, you always get a rationale as to what your, answer should or shouldn't be. And so I'm taking it question by question and just writing notes on each topic as I go. The topics that I'm currently covering, but with a test that I've customized, the topics that I'm focusing on are adult health and critical care. I've been writing my notes as I go with each question, and I star the ones that I need to focus more on, whether it be that I got the question right just because I guessed, or if I got the question wrong. So that's just kind of how I've done my system. So I actually set up the test to be 70 questions and chose for it to be based off of adult health and critical care. But I'm slowly going to just go through each section and test myself on each section that I feel like either are related or will help me to kind of hone in on the topics more. And then as I get closer to the test date, I'm going to do just a full random test and see how I do. So that's my goal for now. But technically, time-wise, I'm on question 22, and I've spent only 21 minutes on the test so far. And I feel like I'm hitting about like a 70% rate as far as like getting questions right. But I'd like to improve that, so we're working on it. I've also got some like coffee shop background noise playing in the back, so it's kind of helping me forget that I'm home, even if I can't study at a coffee shop, so just doing something.